Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I come to the floor today to focus attention on some of the key findings of the Special Counsel's report on Russian interference in our 2016 elections. Just a day before, Robert Mueller is set to come before the House Intelligence and Judiciary Committees. I've spoken on the floor many times about the depth and breadth of Russian interference in the 2016 election. The Special Counsel report goes to great lengths to detail this, in his term, sweeping and systematic interference. What continues to be worrisome is that these information warfare attacks and other malign influence operations are ongoing, with more planned for our elections next year. And this threat to our national security and the integrity of our democracy has yet to be sufficiently recognized nor counted by this administration. Indeed, in the months since the report was released, the Trump administration and congressional Republicans have repeatedly claimed that the report vindicates the president on all charges of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia and on obstruction of justice, rather than taking steps to ensure that we will never be targeted in this way again. The Special Counsel's testimony is vital so that he can detail what he uncovered and shed additional light on the events he investigated. In particular, what Congress and the American people need to hear from Director Mueller relates to three broad categories of questions. First, what was the full scope of Russian interference in the 2016 election? Second, what evidence did the Special Counsel find of coordination between Trump campaign associates or the president and the Russian government? And why did he decide the available evidence was not sufficient to prove a criminal conspiracy with Russia? Third, what evidence did the Special Counsel find that the president obstructed justice? Tomorrow's testimony will help the public understand the gravity of the president's conduct in the White House and the extent to which Russia influenced the 2016 election. These hearings are not the end. This is not case closed. The intelligence community has assessed that the threat from Russia will continue to evolve and grow even more sophisticated. For our elections to remain free, open, and transparent, we must take seriously the threat posed by Russia and other potential foreign adversaries. We must hold hearings in the Senate with testimony from the Special Counsel's office and key witnesses from the report. We must consider legislation on election security, foreign influence operations, disinformation, federal election laws, money laundering, and many other issues. When it comes to protecting our democracy, we cannot be complacent. Now is the time for action to make sure we are ready ahead of the elections in 2020 and beyond. Each and every one of us in this chamber swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. In order to do that, we can't just take tweets about no collusion and no obstruction at face value. This isn't a witch hunt, nor should it be an effort to circle the partisan wagons around the president and absolve him of any wrongdoing. It's got to be a serious examination of what happened and how we can defend our nation from future attacks. And Mr. President, it's my intention to submit a more extensive statement today with respect to this issue. And also, Mr. President, I have the opportunity and the privilege, as we all did earlier today, to vote for Secretary Mark Esper as the next Secretary of Defense. I've known Dr. Esper for more than a decade. He is a public servant and a patriot of the First Order. I think the overwhelming vote today indicates the confidence we have in him, indicates the importance we understand that job holds for all of us, and we've entrusted it to someone who began his dedicated service to the country as a 17-year-old at West Point, served in the Army, then went on to serve in administrations, and also as a public-spirited citizen through his entire life. And with that, Mr. President, I would ask unanimous consent that a more complete statement be submitted for the record with respect to Dr. Esper's confirmation as the Secretary of Defense.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. And with that, I would yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.